but you can also go headstand into that. So, see how my headstand is? Right, you here? Yeah. Yeah, and then you can keep going until you put your hands on the back of the wrists. Nope. Nope. Yeah, you gotta stabilize. Are we on? Yes? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the midday classic Kung Fu. We're going to do a little warm-up just to get the body loose, just about 5 minutes. And then we're going to proceed with some grinding exercises to work on block and building up the fascia strength. Going to do some vein tendon, which is also fascia building. Bodhidharma's vein tendon, 5 different exercises to build up the fascia so that we can have that internal strength, springy power. And then we're going to do some chen and some tiger crane techniques. And then we're going to go up to the gym and do some classic training where we're conditioning our forearms, getting that springy power through, conditioning our hands, you know, all this fun stuff, all the Kung Fu stuff. So you have those really powerful strikes that we're going to do some breaking later. Come back down here, do some more, and then we're going to do some pushy hands, sticky hands to finish it. Thank you for joining us. We wish you were here joining us so you could participate in the class, but perhaps in the future that will be. Until then, class is going to begin. Thank you and welcome. All right, everyone, let's line up. All right, feet together, hands at the side. Let's bow. All right, so typical midday. I think most of you know kind of the routine. So we're just going to start with a little warm up here. So let's start by picking some apples. So you're grabbing the apples, lifting those knees up as high as you can, right? Pulling down from the elbow. Just trying to get some movement here, loosening up the shoulders. Nothing too serious, right? That's right, we're gonna make some apple pies later. Or maybe you like peaches. You could be picking the peaches. I don't restrict, right? Ooh, we have a lot of mangoes on the land right now. So yeah, we need them picked. Hurry up, right? So we can make some mango sticky rice. Okay, now like you're punching a speed bag, right? Activating those shoulders again. Now let's kind of walk to the side. Walk more, right? Just kind of engaging the legs. If you can, cross over the feet, right? More or less, we're just opening up the hips here, getting some movement, right? Okay, bring the hands out. Open and close the hands. None of this little stuff. Really activate the forearms, right? Yeah, you might not feel anything right away, but give it a few seconds and you're gonna start to feel that. Really explode on the opening, fully extending your fingers, really activating the forearms. Keep those hands above the shoulders if you can, right? Yeah. You can pulse a little bit. Okay, you should be starting to feel it in the forearms, right? Let's do some push-ups. Right, if you can, do them on your fingers, fists, or if you need to, you can do them on your knees. Right? Go ahead and begin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, come back up. Unless you haven't done 10, go ahead and finish 10. Let's do a little light jogging, right? And sprint. And going to your right. Stay sprinting. Going to your left. Going forward. Going backwards. And some jumping jacks. Right. All right, and let's do a monkey squat. Right, stay low, kind of stay into it. Be gentle at first, see if you can kind of get that hip to release. Don't come all the way up, just change sides. Right, doing the best you can. If you can get that ankle flat, great, but if you can't, it's something to build up to. Right, switch again. Nice and easy. Just warming the body up, letting it know it's okay to do this movement. Right, now come up. And now we're gonna do a few full ones, right? Down, up, down, up, down, up. Yep, move at your own pace. Right, be mindful of any soreness in your knee, take it easy. And lastly, come up, grab the back of the leg and pull that ankle into your butt. Really feel the stretch in the quad. Right, we don't want to do it for too long. Just going to get that initial stretch, kind of opening it up. Feel free to move a little bit. Get into that stretch. Right, and release. Okay, partner up. We're going to do the grinding, right? The grinding, in case we have forgotten, we want to get into a good walking stance. And we're going to have pinky to pinky, or little finger to little finger, yep. Not the thumb, the other one. And the person on my side, you're going to push towards the other person's heart. And before it gets to the heart, I want the opposite person to use their hips. Yep, push. Use your hips and your body to turn it away. And now you're going to push towards their heart, and the other person's going to do the other thing. We want to create resistance the whole time, activating the muscles, working on the fascia, but also getting familiar with just these circle movements. You can use this in pushy hands, sticky hands, but we're also building up the strength and really trying to engage our whole body. You really want to use your whole body. That's part of the thing here. Use the waist. Turn with the waist. You lovelies over here, I know you have a waist, I know you have hips. Use not just the arm. So you should be coming across this way. You started here. When you're pushing, you need to come this way, right? And get your hips. Turn with the body. Yeah, turn your body. As she pushes in, turn it away. And now you push towards her heart. No, you want to turn the hand.
This way?
Yes, when you're pushing towards their heart. That's how you push, just like that. Push towards her heart. She's going to push you around. And now you rotate the hand, right? The hand's making a circle. It's not just staying stationary. Yeah, exactly. Right, so you push towards the heart, and as your hand comes out and you're resisting, your hand turns towards you, right? It's building up the strength in a block, but we're also wanting to engage the whole core. Yeah, getting a little closer is probably good. After you do 9 times each side, switch hands. But you start thumb to thumb.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah, and now you're going to move this way. Move it out. So use your hips here, Kate. Go like this. And then push. And then push. Using those hips, not just your arm. Turn your waist. Engage your legs. Yep. A little less hips.
No, if I move that.
Yeah, we don't want you shifting the weight. We want you shifting this way, not shifting the weight here. This is unstabilizing. This is the opposite of what we're hoping for. We want this to stay, and you're rotating around that central line, right? Yeah, yes. More like that. Still shifting the weight a little bit in your hips there. So same here, guys. It's not a rocking back and forth. It's moving this way back and forth, right? We're moving around the central. Yes, we're teaching our body to move from the center, not just shifting the weight. This isn't doing anything except for taking us out of a good alignment. Right, and once you've done the push, then you go back to the right hand, you do thumb to thumb, and now you're doing the half circle and then the full circle, going around. Right, just like these guys, right? And try to, again, get that waist, get that core, offer resistance. Make it hard for them. This is a way to stabilize your stance and really work on using the whole body as one instrument, right? You're going to have a lot more power if you're using your whole body compared to just your arm. And we want to have that. We want to learn to use our whole body. So you do a half circle first, right? So start up here again, right? Half circle, no, this way. Half circle, stop. Now you do the full circle, then she does the full circle. You just do the half circle to initiate. So now you go all the way around, and now you go all the way around, right? Again, try to offer resistance and use your whole body. Use your whole body, Kate. I know you got some power, not just the arm, the whole body. Your hips should be utilized in the whole thing. You're going to have a lot more power, a lot more strength if you can use the whole body. Offer up some resistance. Make them sweat for it. There we go. Yes, some resistance. That's what we like to see. Nice work. Nice work. Ooh, there we go. Look at that. I can see you shaking. This is what we like, right? Strength building, conditioning. This is the goal here. Strengthening the fascia, strengthening the muscles, using the whole body as a unit. Yeah, it happens. Yeah. It's also a sign that you're using good force. That's what we want. Once you've done 9 times, you switch hands. Yes, use those hips and bring the hips back. Yes. Now, if you can, you're going to be a lot more stable if you can get into a good stance and bend those knees. The straight leg, it's going to make you very unstable. We want to sink that tailbone, sink our energy down. You can even grip the mat with your toes. This is classic Kung Fu training here, really old style. Which is really what the majority of this afternoon class or this midday class is, just for the audience so you're aware. Right? Keep those legs bent, Todd. Yeah. Remember, the weight is in the back leg, 60%, 40 in the front. And now once you've done 9, then you go to the pinky side. Right? And we start again with the right hand, doing that same thing that you just did, but now with the pinky. Pinkies touching each other. Yep, nice. No need to fully extend your arm. If anything, you want to keep it a little bent. We're trying to rotate around that elbow, right? Keeping those elbows in and rotating around the elbow. right? Because this is a good block. This is not a good block. We're out of position. We have no strength here. Here, I have strength. I have the elbow tucked in, and I can hold that. If I try to block someone like this, it's just going to really do nothing, and they're going to be able to power right through the block if it's a good strike. So we want to keep that in, rotating around, right? Rotating around the elbows. Oh, do let them do it. It's yeah, it's good to offer some resistance. I like it. You guys are sweating. This is what we want. You see this? You can see they're glistening with the sweat here. This is what we want. Hard work, right? It shouldn't be easy. This is Kung Fu. Reward comes from hard work. Kung Fu, hard work over a long time, the reward, right? A lot of people don't know that, but that's really what Kung Fu breaks down to. Wushu means martial art. Kung Fu is the reward of hard work over a long time, right? I'm sure there's better interpretations of that in the Chinese, but this is how it was given to me. And have you done the pinky side? No, pinky side. No, like this, no. Yeah, and you just do the circles now with the pinky side. Yep. Go all the way around. Yeah, there you go. And we want to do 9 for each person, left and right. All right, offer up a little more resistance. Try to get a little more movement in your body so you can think like this. As you, okay. That doesn't seem quite right. You should be going. Oh. You don't. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Something doesn't seem quite right, but we'll just go with it. Because when you're actually at the bottom, yeah, that's right. Come down. Yeah. It just looks weird for me because I'm not doing it like we talked about earlier. Yeah. Once you're finished, you can grab some water. Right? Go ahead, grab a little water, and then we're going to get into some chen. Or actually, we're going to do vein tendon first. We should have done vein tendon before this, but I kind of like to change it up because the timing is a little different. Do you know vein tendon? You forgot? Okay, I can go over it with you. Unless, were you going to try to teach her?
As far as I can remember.
That's good. We should help each other out. This is an important vibe of Kung Fu is family, but I don't have much else to do because I'm the teacher, so I can help. Right? Otherwise, I'm just watching you. Yeah. So let's go ahead and, yeah? The first one is this one. So we're going to stand in a horse riding stance, right? This is called squeezing out the essence. And inhale, we're relaxed. Exhale, we're engaging the face, right? The Sum Chan face. Chin tucked in. We're going to pull the hands down. Try to get those knuckles all the way down, opening up these joints. Yes, as you tuck the tailbone, because you're pulling in to the lower dantian, which pulls the pelvic bone up. This pushes the knees out, creating the tension in the legs, right? So inhale. Relax on the inhale. Would you like a refresher as well, or are you feeling good with it? Yeah, come on over. Have some water. Come on over. 9. Everything Shaolin is 9 because the 7th ranked monk opened the gates to the Shaolin temple so the Chinese could come in and burn it. So the 7 is very anti-Shaolin. They don't like 7, right? So feel free to come on up if you want. Do you want a refresher, or do you feel comfortable doing it? Yeah. So we're going through the first one, right? We want to be in a horse riding stance. We're going to pull up the pelvic wall that pushes the knees out, creating the tension in the legs. Relax on the inhale. Pulling those arms down. Relaxing on that inhale. Getting that stretch on the exhale. Pulling into the lower dantian. Pulls the tailbone down, pushes the knees out. I'm just laughing at the camera people because they're laughing at me and my face. I might even have like something on my face, who knows, that they're not telling me. And remember, with the Chen face, we're trying to really open up the senses in the eyes. We want to see 180 degrees, open the ears, open the nose, right? So you want a little bit more. You're a little too happy, Kate. Yeah, you're a little too happy. We're happy to have you back, but you're a little too happy.
I'm very happy.
Yeah, you got a big grin. This is good. But we want kind of a frown. And then, because it's like a, not a, right? Let's go ahead and rock spreads its wings. So we bring our hands up so our hands are shoulder height. Fingers slightly facing forward or more forward. So not back, forward. And we're extending out to the sides, but also pulling the elbow forward, which doesn't allow for us to do this. Right? You can't, no, because of this. If you're pulling the elbows forward, you're not able to do that. So this is going forward. Yeah. All right. Again, you're doing everything the same on the bottom. See if you can feel that elasticity kind of bounce back after the stretch. Now, if you're starting to shake, you're probably engaging the muscles a little too much, right? So if you find yourself shaking, it's a little too much muscle, not enough of a stretch. We're thinking stretch, not flex. All right, next one. 2 pillars into the ground. So here we're just extending everything and going straight down. This is probably the easiest one to kind of feel this elastic bounce back, right? So inhaling, relaxed. Exhale, stretching down, pulling in again, which pulls the pelvic up, which makes the knees go out. And then here when you release, ideally you kind of feel the arm pop back up into the shoulder. This is what you're looking for. Really thinking the hands are going into the ground. keep going, I'm just going to talk about a little bit the benefits. Keep doing it. So some of the benefits, obviously we're tonifying the fascia, which keeps our alignment very good, holds everything in place. It's that connective tissue that goes around. It also makes us more resilient to punishment, pain, right? We had a woman here who got kicked by a horse, and she's been doing it for a long time, and she barely had any injury at all, right? That's the fascia. The fascia can build up your strength. The other thing it does, and then the more tone your fascia, the easier chi will travel along the fascia, right? Let's do a couple more. And then the other thing is you're creating space in the joints, which allows for synovial fluid to come in and lubricate the joints. So as we age, it's always good to keep the joints lubricated. So there's a lot of health benefits to this that just aren't Kung Fu related. Right? Next one, bring your hands up. I recommend coming up with the elbows down, palms up, and then try to turn the wrists over, but keeping the elbows down, right? And now, having those elbows down as much as possible, we're gonna extend forward, but keep the shoulder in the socket and don't lean back. You're leaning back, you're leaning back, you have a nice straight back. No, no, straight back, tuck the tailbone, shoulders in, not here, this is no good. Let it sit back in so the chest is up. And then just try to extend those arms across the whole area, across the arena. Really try to open it up. Open up the finger joints, and then release. 2 dragons chasing the pearl. Once you're done, go ahead and start some chen. I do recommend doing at least 3 some chen before you move up to the next routine, although I don't think anyone here is graded yet. So we're just going to see a lot of some chen. That's what we like. Old school, they used to do about 100. So see if you can do 10. All right, keep those arms shoulder width apart. And when we're tucking the pelvis and the tailbone, we're not pushing it forward ever. No, yes. It's just going down and this is coming up. There's no, so we don't want to end up like this. It puts a lot of pressure on your lower back, counter to what we're trying to accomplish. Feels awkward at first. Over time, it gets much easier. Your body gets used to it. All right, and the last one, you can open your feet up to comfortable. We're going to do a squat. Yeah, there's also a list in the book too, but yeah, also online if you're tech savvy at all. But on the Google Drive, there's a lot of good information, and it can even talk a little bit about technique as well, in case you have questions, but it has the names. So stabilizing the heavens to support the earth, or supporting heavens to stabilize the earth. I always get a little confused. Names don't really matter that much here. So the arms are just for stabilizing, and we're not really concerned with pulling into the stomach or tucking the tailbone. We just want to lengthen our spine. So our whole intention is kind of driving that head up. You can visualize it going all the way up into the sky, and we want to keep the back straight, right? So we inhale on the way down. As long as you can keep the back straight, exhaling up, making the face, really pulling that head up, and then relaxing. Really trying to lengthen our spine is our intention. If you notice you start to go forward, just stop there, right? So if I go to here and then I start to do this, right here is fine. I don't have to go all the way down, right? Just so you know, right? Keeping that chin tucked. And feel free to grab some water and then begin some chen. Do you know the whole some chen? I know we went over it, Kate, but have a sip of water and then we can go over it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really doing much exciting, but maybe you can kind of watch the whole view. Everyone doing some chen. Get kind of a side view here. Yeah. Except for maybe Tuba, because she doesn't want to do it. Right? Does anyone have any questions? Yeah.
Refresher on, I've done before through back. I've gotten to this point,
Okay.
and then I forget what the clock is. I feel like it's gotta do this at some point.
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
So here,
Yeah, so we ended here, right?
yeah.
And we open that left foot and we step. Think a little more forward, not so out to the side, because it could be a block, it could be a strike. And then from here, you kind of squeeze the shoulders and trap. Drop that right hand. So drop the right hand, keep the left one up, right? And it's kind of like if someone was grabbing your arm, you could be clearing it. You're also ending in a block in case someone was going to kick. And then we go to the other side. It doesn't have to be right along it, right? And then that left hand is ready to come out. That right hand comes out. Turn it, shuffle back, bring it to that opposite hip, turn it, and then this hand comes up, and it's that left hand in the very beginning when you ground and do this, that's where the left hand's gonna be. As much as you can have, try not to have it to the side, try to have it in the center as much as possible, as much as your shoulders will allow, because we also want the chest up. So if this is where it's at, this is where it's at. You know, it looks a little different for everybody. Yep. And then from there, step back, ground the energy, and bow. Yeah. Yes. Come on over. Come on over. Yeah.
I'm confused how to turn it. Like this is like.
Yeah. So let's go through the whole sequence together, right? So we just did our third step back, and we're in this position, right? The right foot is back. We step forward, we block, right? Yeah, you want to think about the height of your chin and somewhat forward, right? Because you're not going to block much way out here. So just a little bit wider than your shoulders. Yeah. Right? It could be a strike. It could be a block. Bring it back. Trap. right? And we don't want to go side to side. We want that right to come in front. The right to come in front. The reason being is we don't want to bang the two wrists together because that can be quite painful and damaging. The wrists are rather fragile. So we're thinking like we're trapping something. You could be trapping a weapon of sorts. You could be trapping a fist. You could be trapping some kind of attack, right? Then that right hand comes down, opens up, super close. It's doing this. And something you can think, it's like if someone had a grip and you're just knocking their hand off. Yeah, right? Like if you had a grip on my wrist, I'm pulling my hand back while also kind of striking. So I'm not necessarily trying to hit it with the palm, right? So there's multiple things happening here. It's one move, 1,000 applications is kind of the idea in Kung Fu. So pull that back as it comes down, really trying to use that energy and momentum, right? Keeping the shoulders somewhat square. We don't want to be turned like this. Yeah. Obviously you're watching me, so it's a little difficult. And then bring that other hand up, right? And do the same thing. And now we're in this position, left hand's right here, and now it's just ready to shoot out, right? And then the other side. And then you just turn towards the center, shuffle back, bring it to that opposite hip, and turn it around, right? Try to keep it in the center. We don't want to come outside of our body if possible. We want to try to keep that as center as possible without compromising the shoulders. We don't want to collapse the shoulders. We want to keep the chest up. And then this hand comes up into this position. Same as in the very beginning. When you do this, see where your left hand is? Now just drop that right hand down. This is how you want to finish. Yep. And if you can, Kate, keep it straight. Yes. Yes. Right? And then we just step back into our horse riding stance. And we want to do that reverse breathing there. Reverse abdominal breathing. So we're pulling a little bit in from the abdomen. And then bow. Yeah. Only that? No, I just show that as an example because in the beginning, right, in the beginning we salute, we do this, we ground. When you come up and you do that, where your hand is the same spot as in this position. Here and here, this hand is in the same position, that left hand. So I just use that as an example because when you're here and you shuffle back, people don't know what to do with this hand, but it just comes out into that same position. Yeah, for sure. Try to keep those shoulders pretty square. Try to keep those shoulders pretty square. So, yeah, avoid doing... Yeah, the shoulder movement is this. It's with the back. We're moving the back and the whole area. This is how we're getting our springy power. It's not this way. So I'm not coming in here and doing that. Yeah, try not to pull it up. But see here again, look where your shoulders are ending. Yeah. So think less shoulders, just think trying to get the energy into the hand. And using, if you can, you want to use your whole body, right? But this is part of it, right? You just started, so you're pretty stiff. And it just takes practice. This, honestly, this move's one of the hardest ones for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you learn it right away in the beginning, but trying to get the springy snap into there is challenging. And then you just want to end with your hand like that, yeah, so that it would be a potential block. It wouldn't be the best block, but still we're teaching ourselves these moves. You know, the routines are teaching us moves. It's not mimicking a fight scenario. This is always important to know. And this style of Kung Fu, and in most Kung Fus, if I'm not mistaken, the moves are very rarely mimicking an actual fight. They're just teaching us how to move in a certain way and get the springy power through, get that awareness through, so that if we get into a situation, our body can kind of respond naturally, right? Because if you're sitting there thinking about what move you're gonna have to do, you've already lost, right? Someone's already probably punched you in the face or kicked you. So we kind of want to have this natural, and you'll notice, you'll start to get this kind of like, someone throws a kick, someone throws a punch, you just naturally, your arm's gonna come up, right? Are you gonna do the full movement like you do when you practice? No, probably not. It's probably gonna be something short, but we don't practice the short movements, we practice the full movement to really sink that in to that muscle memory, right? Just like, you're probably not gonna do that whole movement, but you might do something like that. You know, you might just come across. Hopefully you never have to use it at all, right? That's the real secret of Kung Fu, is that you don't ever have to use it. That's why it's not a fighting sport. It's more a philosophy and lifestyle. Yeah.
Told you stand still, like move nothing, or you just.
No, you want to move something.
My body is movable.
So one of the ways that we generate power is this movement, right? One of them is the shoulders back and forward, like in the Sum Chen, right? The shoulders come back and it comes forward, right? When we do that beginning and we're doing the double crane, you come in a little bit, yeah, and you're using your back and your legs, right? It's similar in that movement. So there's a little bit of hip, but when we're using our hips most of the time, it's just this much. We're engaging the legs. If you start doing things like this, you're starting to get yourself out of position, right? Okay, now if I've missed, I've given up my whole back. It's not, yeah. So there's just that. So this one, there's this little collapse of the shoulders coming in, and a little bit of turn, right? If we break it down too much, we're getting away from it. We're getting away from the essence. So try not to turn the shoulders so much. You're kind of doing something like this. Yeah, it's just, like my shoulders stay straight. Yeah, this one comes a little bit in front of this one because it's in front of the body, but I'm not doing this. And I'm not going, right? So you don't want to pull it back. Yeah, when you had really good movement when you did this. The double upper block. Think that same kind of movement with the body, just do it in this way. Yeah, work at it. Not so much, not so much with the shoulders, right? But that's part of it. We're learning how to move our body somewhat independently. And it's difficult because this is a Eastern art, Chinese art, and we're Westerners, and so we like to break everything down into all this little micro movements, but the Chinese don't really do that. Yeah, they're like, kick, just kick. You know, go kick 1,000 times and then I'm gonna give you some corrections. You know, here, just try to get that energy into the hand, turning it down. A little bit of movement there in the shoulders, a lot of movement in the body, but it might be kind of subtle, right? We don't want to be doing this. There's no energy really coming through here. And we're turning ourselves in a way that's, we want to face our opponent. Pretty much at all times, you always want to be facing your opponent in case you have to do that. So we just want to train ourselves to do that. And it can be very useful. Someone grabs your arm, boom, knock it off. You're pulling the hand back as the other hand's coming forward. That's why you don't need to move the shoulders so much. Right? No, I'm just moving my arm. Yeah. Right. Get off me. I told you I don't want to dance with you. I only do line dancing. you know? You know? Or whatever the case is. Maybe you're like, I'm a break dancer. Don't grab me. You know, I think women probably deal with this more when they're out in public. Guys are very grabby, unfortunately. So it's good to know some of these things. You don't have to be vicious with it, but if you do that, they're going to get the idea that you don't really want to talk to them, right? And actually, there's quite aggressive women that do that as well, and so maybe you want to get them off of you. You know, I shouldn't limit it to just one gender because all the genders have this. Bring it to the other side, Todd. So you did this. Yeah. Right? I'm going to do a couple some chins with you. Right? Well, if you have any questions, you can continue to ask. A little stiff. So you're getting almost like a circular motion there. Right? Energy always moves better in a circle. That's why bubbles are circles. Yeah, because energy moves in circles. It swirls more than a straight line. Even in physics, the shortest distance is a straight line, but the fastest distance is not a straight line. The fastest distance has a curve. So we're thinking about that energetically. There's a curve. And as you get better and better at the Kung Fu, there's more and more circular movement that occurs. Because that's how you're going to get the most energy movement. Obviously, this is very linear. Right? But, yeah, probably over-explanation. Turn it in, yeah, just like that. Bring it down to the opposite hip. Opposite hip. To your left hand, to your opposite hip. I was talking to you. Yeah. I guess I should have said your name. Sorry about that, Joe. Turns it around. So this one's doing, so I was just describing to Leslie, you come down and you do kind of this circular motion and then it just comes out. Yeah, it kind of comes out in a nice circular motion. Yep, into that same position that we had earlier. Yeah. Yep, horse riding. Inhaling. Trying to hold that breath if you can, right? You do, but it's after, so it's a grounding practice like in the beginning. Yeah.
And then this one is like this. It's not like breathing.
Right. Yeah, we'll keep it at the Qigong there. We call it the Qigong. I don't think Chinese medicine calls it the Qigong, but that's what Master Tan told Master Ian, so that's our source of reference, so that's what we call it. But yeah, that soft spot right above the hip, or right along the Dai Mai, the belt channel. Yeah, right where the love handles are, yeah. And as you advance, you learn these moves to grab that. Yeah. Yeah, there was an old Kung Fu guy who was really good at that from Singapore that Master Ian talks about. Yeah, he just loved, yeah, he was maybe a little bit of the criminal element. Yeah. Okay. Let's work a little bit on that end. Can you show me that end bit again? From the last, so your right foot's back, and you just, yeah. Yeah. You're not getting a whole lot of movement there. You're really just, so, well, just more in the whole body, right? So here, really explode out, right? And it comes from here. It's not a, we're here, right? We're here, we're just, right? Squeeze your shoulders as you come back. Trap, right? But you want your hand flat, right? Flat, yep. This comes up, flat, yep. Drive it, get some turn in the hips. Get some, yeah, it's not a lot, but you can see my legs are moving, right? You're moving and it's coming up from the feet. So that the way that you have your feet actually creates tension in the legs, which there's this bounciness. And then your hips don't have to move very much for you to get that energy through. And we don't want to cup our hand and bring it up here because you're kind of doing this. We want to drive it straight from the hip. Okay, but do you see your right hand when you do that? Your hand's like this. Yeah, your hands are like this. No. Thumbs in. Drive through. Yeah. Better? Your right hand always wants to keep coming up. You want to bring it up into your armpit, which we don't. We don't want to do. We just want to bring it from the hip. Don't bend over your toes. Okay. This leg is really bent, which is probably why you don't have any power. Yeah, and we're just, The legs, the knees are pushed this way. They're not going forward. The second you start going forward, there's no power stability. When you go out this way, it creates this locked in, and so there's this springiness that you can tap into because there's this tension that's created from your knees going this way. And you can tap into that tension. Now try to engage your waist by not bending your knees so much. You keep doing this.
Try to sink into it.
Yeah, you sink into it by tucking the tailbone, not by bending the knees forward. The knees want to go to the side. See, look at your left knee. It's past your toe. That's going to really cause you pain. So way, way, way too bent. Right? They're over, my knees are over the middle of my foot. This way. This way. Tuck the tailbone. Push out that way. Look again at your knee. Yeah. The second you do that, your weight is not here. Straighten that leg up a little bit. Yes, yes, yes. The weight's in there, but the weight doesn't come in there from you bending it. It comes from you just shifting it towards the back. So the weight is a front to back issue, not this. The second you do that, you're putting a lot of pressure on the ankle and you've lost all stability. Right? Now try to get a little turn in the waist. Try to get your energy in the center because you're still kind of leaning onto the leg. And finding the weight distribution is challenging. It's the practice. Okay, everybody, finish the one you're on. If you want to grab water, you can grab water, but we're going to go up to the gym. Feel free to finish the one you're on. Nice work. It's hot and sticky. Everyone put in some good work there. We appreciate the music, Tony. Right? Keep the energy up. It's easy for it to go down, but let's get moving to the gym. To the gym. General polls. I'll see you there. Oh, you're going to the bamboo poles. Okay, I'll be at the general's poles. So go ahead and pick a station. How are you feeling? Is everyone feeling comfortable? They know what they need? Okay. Try to be no more than 3 people at a station. Because we have enough people. You feeling comfortable with this? Yeah, we can do this together. Okay, is everyone in position? All right, so sorry I didn't be a little bit more entertaining on the walk up. I was distracted in my mind. Not very kung fu of me, but we're gonna do 4 different circuits. Okay, are you ready? Get ready. And begin. The first one, we're gonna work on the general's poles. So we're doing the partner routine. You can do a little bow in beginning, just like we do with the Sum Chien. Can help you remember. And in the partner routine, then you want to grab, right, going up, stay up, going down, right, punch, yeah, you don't necessarily have to grab, and then open hand, 1, 2, 3, grab, jumping with the right foot, land, step, chop with the left, switch feet, chop with the right, block. Turn it around just like the end of the Sum Chien. Now I usually don't do the whole bow, I just start again here, but that's how I do it. Okay. And here, when the grab, really working on that core. Yep. If we can, incorporating our waist and our whole body into the movements. No, you don't do all that. That's the Sum Chien. You just close. You just do this. We're already at this point, so you just come back and ground. Right? We want the right foot forward. Pull. Right, then the upper block, inner block, inner block. One, two, 1, 2, 3, grab, come through. This is the same as the first partner routine. Right. Yeah. So try not to turn it. We want to hit the edge. Yeah. And there's no need to hit it too hard. You do want to create a little vibration. It actually takes away some of the pain that can happen. Coming through, lock. Yeah, so the last one is here. Turn it around. Yep. Go ahead and switch spots. Nice work, everybody. Getting nice and sweaty. That's what we want. Okay, so I'll let you two pick what bags you want. And I'll take the bag you don't want. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'll take the big bag then. That's the nicest of the three because you can do kicks. Get ready and begin. So here it's anything you've been working on, you know. You can do punches, you can do Shaolin punches, you can do a chop, you can do the elbow, right? Work on your grading moves, elbow. You can do back hammer fist, right? Generally the back hammer fist comes down, but, right? You can work on these different strikes. You can work on some of the things that you've been learning in the self-defense class, right? Block, smack, right? You block, you smack someone, and then back hammer fist right into their collarbone. Or block, elbow. Or you can just continuously do these elbows. And when you do the elbows on the pad, I recommend driving the energy through instead of coming around. This is going to cut up your elbows, right? It's going to scrape. Drive it in. Drive it through. What we're looking for is to create an indentation. We don't want to just push the bag. You want to indent it, right? Instead of just pushing it, because then the energy is penetrating. Right? And it's just, that's why we practice, right? Keep going, minute and a half left. Try to engage that whole body. See if you can do some combos. Thank you. "30 seconds, give it your all, get that sweat going." Okay, clearly I can't go that hard because I'm gonna break something. So, and relax, switching stations. And here we're doing some classic Kung Fu strength building. Yeah, we have the rain. Get ready and begin. So we have some nice rain here in Thailand. Heads up. So what we're really trying to do is create a vibration while also strengthening our arms, the fascia in our arms, using our core. This one's a little too bendy. We're trying to get this whip. After 9 times, Switch sides. All right, switch sides again. Now we're gonna do a little side to side. Again, trying to really use that waist. Get that whip. Get a good stance. Engaging your core. Getting that chi through. Switching sides, just getting poured on here. Some of it's sweat, not all of it. Right, here we go. Might look easy at home, it's not easy. The issue with this is it never gets really easier, because the stronger you get, the more you whip it, so the more resistance you have. So it grows with you. All right. And now make circles. Whipping it around. I like to start from the top and go the other way. Try to get this whip. And relax. Switching stations. Last one up here. Let's keep the energy high. Yeah. That's right. You got it, gentlemen. That's what we want. Now we're going to go over to the bags, sandbags. We're going to condition our hand. And go ahead and begin. You certainly can lift it up. But here, again, we want to indent the bag more than we want to push it. Trying to get that springy power through while also conditioning our hands. If you can step into it and use the waist and use your whole body, even better. So I usually do about 20 each side. Of course, you can do whatever you want. Try not to push it so much, Todd. Yeah, you're getting a lot of movement. That's pushing. We want to get springy. We want to get indentation, but without so much movement. This isn't what we want. There's no springy power coming through there. So, all right. And then you can also use your palm. Now what I find useful for the palm is to get this last little minute or movement at the end where you're driving the palm right into it. right? Obviously it's gonna move somewhat, but if you're seeing the indentation, that's what you're looking for. That's the penetrating, springy power we're hoping for. Otherwise, it's just a push. Right, and you can get the side strike as well. Side strike's a tough one. Kind of wants to go around. And then you can also get the slap. This can be pretty hard on your hand, so take it easy, but you get used to it pretty quick. This helps your fingers and the joints connecting to the fingers. Don't forget to get both hands. And relax. Nice work, everybody. Let's put the bamboo sticks away and come on out. Let's go back down. I'm just going to make sure that everything's closed up here. I already put the bamboo away. Oh, I'm going to help you, Joe. Thank you. That's what they tell me. All right, making our way back down. It's really nice. Yeah. And I don't know if you heard me, I was kind of talking to the camera, but it's one of those practices that it never really changes in difficulty, because the better you get at it, the more whip there is, and then the more resistance there is. And so you're not ever really getting diminished returns. That's some, yeah, yeah. You're like, it's just a bamboo, what the heck? Yeah, it's honestly, it crushes me just about every time. I always feel it in the elbows, you know. Yes. Yeah, and the core as well.
Or even the forearms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I say the elbows, but really it's the whole area. That forearm, you can really feel the tendons and the fascia being worked, right? Which is great because we do so much movement with the elbows, which is why it's such an old school kung fu, something you don't see very often, at least not in the States where we're from. Not that I've looked that hard, but there's not really that much bamboo growing, except for that little area in San Francisco and in downtown.
I'm actually really curious, what type of kung fu is offered in San Francisco, because there is a large Chinese community there that's been there for a long time.
I know there's some high-level martial arts offered there. It might take a little while to get into the communities. But one of the people that was in the yoga community with me, she studied under a woman, and I want to think it was Tai Chi maybe, or Bagua perhaps, and she had taught a national champion, like a Chinese national champion, you know, like highly respected in that community. And what she told her, like the first 2 years of her training was,
Yeah.
go stand by a tree. You need to ground.
Wow.
Just go be by a tree. Yeah, real old school Chinese Kung Fu, you know? Oh, you want to learn from me? Go stand by that tree for 6 months. Learn to ground your energy, and then you'll be ready for me to teach you. Yeah, it's no joke. So let's go ahead and get to these different stations so we can get into some pushy hands and sticky hands. Again, continuing with our Kung Fu training, building up the conditioning in our arms and our legs so that we can block without being in pain. That one's the heaviest one. You certainly can bring it over there, but yeah, these have sand in them. That one's concrete. Todd likes the big one because Todd's strong. That's right. So we like to see Todd pushing yourself. Is everybody ready? Okay. Oh. All right, let's go ahead and begin. Start with a little rolling on our forearms. More or less just deadening the nerves, not killing them entirely. And if you're getting a little bit of a jump in there, you're actually conditioning the bone a little bit, making these little micro fractures that allows the calcium to come back and make the bone stronger. The rods are really good for that. We'll be at that station in a little while. Now, one other thing, we've worked one side. It's always good to work both sides. And I hear a lot of crunchies from all my scar tissue that's there. Here we are working that out. Wish you were here training with us. Maybe someday you will be. All right, making your body nice and strong and healthy, even if you have no intention of ever fighting. This is just good to condition your body. It makes it stronger, makes your mind stronger. Makes your spirit stronger, makes your will stronger. Something we can all probably use. A little more will, a little more discipline. And then we're going to get those legs. This one can be quite tender. You can start with your legs really open, rolling down. Again, if you've never done this, looks like you're doing nothing, but there's a lot of nerves right there on the calf, right on the shin bone. I've been doing this for a little while, so it's not that painful for me. But when you first start, whoo, you definitely feel that. All right, so I like to do 9 with the feet as open as possible. Then you bring them in a little bit. Not quite straight up and down, but not as far open as before, because now you're going to actually hit a little bit different on the shin, and you might feel some different sensations. Usually, there's one of these positions that's really kind of a challenging one. Now you can try maybe straight up and down if you haven't already. For this one's one of my hardest ones. I really feel this one on my shin. Doesn't feel good at all. Yeah. All right, once you've done that, say 9 or so times. Then you can try the feet in. And relax. Moving on to the next station. This one can be pretty painful too, especially down by the ankle. All right. Switching stations. And here we're going to go through the weights. So the best rotation here, right? You can do it in a horse riding stance if you like, or you can have a neutral stance. But here we go with the backhand, forehand. Really trying to get it to come in front of us as much as possible and using that waist and our whole body. Building up strength, but also conditioning ourselves and getting ourselves. So try to come in front instead of just going over your head like this. It's a backhand, right? Forehand. So we're getting our body to work. And this is chi naturally wants to flow in this way. You can kind of feel as you circle, the energy goes round and we're engaging the core. And this is teaching you how to move in a fluid way. This can be helpful in the pushy hands, sticky hands, and any kind of situation. The routines, both weapon and free hand. And now that we've done that, now you go up and turn it around. So going up and up, up. Try to make that circle, yeah. Now you could also use these like they use the Indian clubs. I'm not familiar with the routines with those. So this is what we do here. Right. But you can also practice weapon routines like Todd is. He's working on his two-handed, which is the sai. But this is a part in the routine and he's strengthening that up so that when he does the sai, it's going to be a lot easier. Right? And then another great sequence is working with our blocks. So block, block, right? And just going around in the circle. Try not to turn too much because we don't want to turn to the side really. We want to keep that in the front. Using your legs, using your waist, but keeping that in the front. Keeping our chest pretty straight, like we're blocking, right? Building up the strength in the shoulders. And now switching, going the opposite direction. So working our upper block. Before that was an inner block, this is an upper. Also teaching us to move in a circular motion, which is one of the ways that we like to move the energy. We move the energy in a circle this way, a circle this way, and a circle this way. Right, but I'll talk a little bit more about that. Right, okay, now I lost my rhythm. Oh, and switch. Another one you can do is this. This is good for your strength in your forearms. All right, just 2 more stations, halfway through, and then we'll get into some pushy hands. Did we lose somebody? Just Tony? Okay. So, here you can go ahead, and you can see we have these metal rods, and we're gonna use them to condition our forearms and our shins. You can use it on your ribs and really any other bone. I don't really recommend it for, say, the muscle. The muscle, there's better ways to condition it. The benefit here is we're deadening the nerves, but we're also, again, making these micro fractures in the bone. So if you can, I would say try to get the edge, because that's what you're going to be blocking with, right? So There's really no point in doing this with the flesh. You're just hitting your muscle for really no reason. It's giving it a little bit of massage, I guess. But I wouldn't say it's the best use of your time, right? Right, making sure to get equal amounts to both sides. But if you get some tree trunk feeling forearms? Yeah, I can't talk right now. But if you can build up this bone to have this increased density, you block, it's gonna hurt them. Yeah. You know? Yeah, in which case you don't even really need to be offensive, because if someone goes for a wide punch, which is what most punches are when people are fighting who don't know how to fight, and you just block them right in there, that's gonna hurt. Oftentimes that'll be enough for them to want to stop, because they realize you know what they're doing, you know what you're doing more than they do. And then ideally you don't have to be in a fight, because that's part of the secret of Kung Fu, is not to fight. I know some of you out there are thinking, well, this isn't very good for sport fighting, and you're right. This isn't sport fighting. This is a lifestyle. This is learning to defend ourselves, making our body strong, making our mind strong. Much different than getting into a ring. And no disrespect to those people are amazing as well. The conditioning that they do, I wouldn't want to fight them, not at all. Those people do it for a living or in all their spare time, and for lack of better terms, they're badasses. Right? And I respect that. And then we want to get our shins as well. And maybe you're thinking, oh, I'll never be in a fight, but God, who hasn't hit their shin in the corner of a table? Oh, it hurts bad. It hurts real bad. Well, this conditioning will make it hurt a lot less. I can't guarantee it'll take all the pain away, but yeah. You'd just be shattering corners of tables, and I'd like to think that. Yeah. Right? And for all of those of you who are maybe a little clumsy and you hit your shins all the time, this can help. You'll notice as you do this more and more, you get less and less bruises. That's an interesting conditioning. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's shift. Last station. Give it your all. We're going to move over to the bags. This one is one of my favorites. This is really good for conditioning your hands, as well as teaching your body to move as one unit. So if you can, we can just do this, but why not try to get a little bit more of the whole body, right? You can get there, palm strike, back of the hand, back hammer fist. Now I have kind of a busted up finger on my right hand, so this doesn't feel that great, but I'm gonna power through. Right? Yeah, good use of the body. Teaching yourselves how to move one unit, not just the arm, from the legs into the core. I don't know if you can hear that back home, but it sounds pretty vicious. Right. Fortunately, this ledge isn't the perfect size. Bags kind of want to leak off to the edge. And for those of you at home, Maybe you're thinking we're not hitting it as hard as we can, and you're absolutely right. You don't want to hit it hard as you can because you want to hit it 100 times, not 10 times. The conditioning happens over time, continuously doing it. If you hit it as hard as you can, you're just going to bruise your hand. You're not really conditioning it. You're going to be out of commission. And then you won't be able to train, and then you'll be sad. So we don't want that. We want to continuously be able to train, limiting the injuries as much as possible. This is some old school style Kung Fu training. You see it in all the old movies. There's a lot of truth to it, and if you see my hands, they're very red. My knuckles are all red. I'm naturally pretty pale. Right, go ahead and stop. Let's put away the toys. Grab some water. And then we'll get ready for some pushy hands and sticky hands. All right. This is the fun part, right? We get to test. First, we're going to do a little bit of a game. I think we have equal sides, so get in 2 rows this way, 3 and 3. All right. And I want the people closest to me to get into a good walking stance. So again, hips facing forward, feet, if we have our right foot forward, our feet are facing 11 o'clock. Our hips are facing 12 o'clock. 60% of the weight is in the back foot, right? We're not leaning to that side, but it's in the back. Our tailbone is tucked. We're sitting here good. We have that tension because our knees are getting pushed out to the side from tucking that tailbone, right? The knees are over the foot, but not necessarily over the toes. When they go over the toes, you're starting to lean a little too forward. So you want it over the foot, not the toes. Tailbone tucked, feeling kind of secure here. I want you guys to come up and push them a little bit. Test their stability, right? Give them a little push. See how they're doing, right? Go ahead and go. Don't push them as hard as you can because obviously you could move them. But no, that's fine. That's a good push. You want to push them. We want to get a feel for our stability. I want you to have a good stability because, right? Yeah, you can push on their legs, right? We want to sync that. Remember, shoulder width apart. Heel and toe are in alignment. Right? Sink down, Joe. Sink that energy. Tuck that tailbone, sink it. If you can, have your toe here. Yeah. That might feel a little better. Right? Right? So this is because your knees are too bent. And you're doing this. Yeah, open them up, have them over the foot. Right? We're pretty upright, but we're sunk down. That's what happens when you sink that tailbone. It's not about bending the knees as much as the knees going out and stabilizing. And you get this tension in the foot and the knees. This is what we're looking for. That's the stabilizer. It's not this, right? This is lethal to us. One, you're just going to destroy your knees if you're staying that bent, and then you really have no stability at all. Okay? Now let's switch. Right? So now the other person. Yeah, you thought it was funny when you were pushing them. How funny is it when they push you, right? So get into a good walking stance. Left or right foot forward, the choice is yours. Have it shoulder width apart. Right? You could maybe go a little bit. No, definitely not. You can go a little wider. And have your toe on the line. Right? The toe and the heel are in alignment. So you can use that line. It's helpful. Right? Get those tailbone tucked and go ahead. Push when you're ready. Right? Obviously, if you push really hard, you're going to move them. We're just testing their stability. Right? Go side to side, front to back. Yeah. Tuck that tailbone, sink it down. Sink the energy. Think about growing roots into the earth. It might sound silly, but if you're activating your mind and thinking that, your body's more likely to follow. Push at the hip. There you go. Nice work. Kate's looking stable. Right? You can push on that thigh a little bit. Nice. Good one, Joe. I like those. Right? So you're kind of seeing the strength and the weakness in your stance. That's really all I was hoping for with this, and a few laughs, right? Because we want to enjoy what we're doing. But let's go ahead and face each other, right? Salute each other, but go ahead and partner up for pushy hands, right? Pushy hands, again, is when we're stable and we're trying to throw the other person off balance while maintaining touch contact. So now that you have kind of what you're looking for in your stance, go from there. Remember, keeping that touch contact and go whenever you're ready. So it's pushing, Kate, so yep, you got it. Do you remember? Little bits? Yeah. So you're just trying to, get them off their stance, move them so that they move their feet. Nice, right? Kate's quite wiry, stronger than she looks. So, right? And we don't want to look right at the hands. You're going to want to look over the shoulder or look out with the corner of your eye. Your response time is going to be faster if you're looking with the corner of your eye. Even better if you're just focusing on the touch. That will be faster than your eyes because of the relaying of the information to your brain. Okay, salute your partners. We're going to stay with the same exercise. Just rotate. However you want to do it. Yeah, just do somebody new. Todd, come down. There we go. Salute your partner. Right, we're working together, working on that touch sensitivity. Yeah, so anytime you're ready. Remember the stability of your stance. We're trying to take in that energy. Remember, don't stare at the hands. If you're staring at the hands, you're not using your touch contact sensitivity, you're using your eyes to relay information. You're going to be a second too slow. All right? Teaching yourself that touch sensitivity in yourself and that other person. Right? See if you can feel their energy. Okay. Oh. Oh, there we go. Nice work, Tuba. Right, sink that chi down, rotating from the hips. You don't necessarily want to shift that weight back and forth, because if someone's paying attention, as soon as you shift that weight, they're going to push you on that leg. So we want to stay nice and stable in the center line, rotating on the hips. Right? If I'm doing this, if someone pushes me here, I'm screwed. I have no stability. That's part of what we're learning here, is how to stay stable. Because if you ever get into some kind of altercation, you want to be able to have that muscle memory of stability. If you're thinking you're going to do this, it's not going to be so good for us. As well as it's teaching us more sensitivity to energy and chi. Okay, salute your partner. Rotate down one. Nice. And let's go again. Yep. And then we're going to get into some sticky hands. I know you prefer the sticky. Ah, okay, all right. We always like improvement. Tuba's getting good at this. Well, better at least, Tuba. Come on, give yourself some credit here. I see a little shaking in the head, but I see you moving the energy. Yes. See, you're feeling that chi. You're feeling that other person's energy. Feel where the resistance is, and then try to move it in a different direction. Right? Not trying to overpower them with strength, but with technique. Technique is the key. You know, the white crane is very similar to Wing Chun and a lot of its principles. Wing Chun was developed by a woman to overpower opponents who are more physically strong, right? Or people who are physically stronger. It's not about that. God, you really want to watch those knees. I don't want you to have knee problems. They're very bent. Yeah, they're extremely bent over the toes. Try to sink that tailbone. Try to use her energy against her if you can. She's doing a lot of pushing. So can you roll your wrist around? Roll it around like you do with some chen. So here, let me show you. Right? she's pushing on my hands. Because she's using way too much energy. She's pushing, but she already stepped. So, right? So you want to relax, Kate. Let's see. If they're pushing on your hands, you can rotate around like this. Try to use that. If she's pushing really hard, turn it around, pull her. Because she's already giving you all that chi. She's giving you all that energy because she's pushing. She's a little too tense. And look, if I just pull it away, or if I do that, look, you know? So that's why you want to stay relaxed. Because if her arms are relaxed, keep your arms relaxed, she doesn't move. But if she's tense, right? You push on me and I'm tense, I move. If you push on me when I'm relaxed, my hands just go, right? Because they're relaxed. I'm not resisting. And if anything, she does it again, boom. Use their energy against them. Don't just try to fight muscle to muscle, because that's not the technique, right? Because you're going to come up against people who are stronger than you. We want to still be able to beat them. Good technique will beat strength every time. Yeah. It's your first week, so no one's expecting perfection, right? But just some techniques. Try to roll those wrists out, right? Roll them out. Yeah, roll it out. Roll it out. Kate's been doing it for a while, so yeah. Right? Sink that chi down. Oh, yes. Nice. Oh, Toby, I thought you had him there. If you could have got the explosiveness, you had it because you saw it. I could see that you saw the opening where you crossed up his arm, and then you just got to explode with the springy power. And then that's going to jar them. If you just push, it gives them time to cause resistance. But if you're able to explode, that's going to move them more likely than push. Yeah, just like when we're hitting the bags, we want to create that indentation and not just push the bag. So it's a good way to work on your springy power. Okay, salute your partner. Now we're going to get into some sticky hands. So sticky hands, we can move our feet, right? And we're looking for strikes. Again, if I can get you as just stay nice and relaxed. I want to see, kind of control, right? I have him under control here. What I don't want to see, move to the side and get the camera, but we can have everyone see as well, is what I don't want to see is, right? Because then it becomes sparring. And that's a different beast. We're trying to work on touch sensitivity and trying to get it up. Now he's being very nice to me, but you see how I have like somewhat control. We're moving in these circles, this circle, and this circle. And if you can try to come here, come underneath, bam, right? I used 2 of the circles there. So just trying to plant some of those seeds, trying to move in this. Yes, you can do some speed. Yes, you can hit them. If someone gets you in the face, the reaction is you want to strike them right back, but recognize they got you. And I don't mean this. I mean, they got you, right? So this hand is now there. He could strike with that hand, but the courtesy is that they got you. Like in a real situation, someone's going to probably hit you hard enough, right, that you can't hit them back. So you're kind of just having that understanding, right? It's just mutual respect. If you do, it's okay. The energy tends to rise when you get hit in the face. We all take it personally, but thank you, Toby. Yeah. So go ahead and go, partner up. If you do have questions, you can ask. But again, trying to keep that touch contact and move it into a strike, not just trying to spar. And you can move the feet, right? Move the feet. The moving of the feet can help you get a better angle and can help you defend as well as strike, right? And we don't want to just grab, although I know that is our tendencies, but we want to teach ourselves, but you can cup. right? The white crane technique is to use our hands and our wrists to cup. We're not using the thumb, but we're using this to kind of control and cup, right? You do a lot of that. That's good. You're using the hand, but we don't necessarily want to do this, but very good. Yeah, you're doing it. Yeah, yeah. And she's having difficulty with it, right? Right? Don't be afraid to make some contact. There we go. Get the energy up a little bit. And try to flow to the best that you can. Okay, make sure to maintain touch contact there, Tuba. It's not just striking. It's not a free spar. Oh, he told you to, okay. Try to keep those feet down if you can, but nice. Right, that's good. But try to keep the energy down instead of the feet coming up. Go ahead and salute your partner. Find a new partner, right? We want to keep ourselves centered and feet. This, if you see my feet coming up here, this isn't great unless you're actually really coming out of your shoes for an uppercut, Mike Tyson style, but that's professional. This on our toes is not what we're hoping for. That's not what we want to do. We want to keep that energy grounded. You want to come through, let the energy come through and strike, right? Sinking as well as flowing out. This is the goal. One of them. There's many when it comes to striking. But keep your energies, right? Keep your stance good. Really working on technique. None of these strikes are going to be that hard, so it's okay if they get you in the belly or even a little slap to the face. You're going to be fine. Stay relaxed back there. I can see you're tensing up from here. But you're having fun, so we like that. Okay, let's salute your partner. Nice work. Let's get back into the lineup. So it's always good after doing pushy hands, especially sticky hands, to do a little Qigong to get the Qi out of our head, although the energy here was still pretty calm, but we just want to do a little bit of grounding, right? So we can start in horse riding. We're just going to do a little drawing up earth and sky Qi, drawing earth and sky, inhaling. Get that stretch, and on the exhale, guiding that Qi down along the conception vessel, down into the lower dantian. 2 more times at your own pace. Nice, easy breathing, bringing that chi out of the head, down into our lower dantian. And then just a little bit of shaking out the bad chi. So come up and drop. Come up, drop. Up. Don't even bounce, although a lot of times in the morning we do, but here just come up and come down. Really keeping that pretty simple and still. Really letting that chi just come down into your feet. All your worries, draining out the bottom of your feet. Any stresses coming out. Soothing music, just calming us. Right, here we go. And nice and relaxed. Everything just coming down and out. All right. Okay. Feet together, hands to the side. Bow. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy lunch. See you back at 3:30 for some breaking. Remember, it's up at the gym. Thank you for joining us. We wish you were here training with us. Maybe sometime you will be. Here we are in northern Thailand, in Pai. It's quite this little town. A lot to offer, even in this little area. So come on out. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening. Yeah, mic drop.